Hello everyone, we are from Group 3, want to present our work, COVID-19 and Globalization. Our group consists of Kalara Natalia, Erena Poyas Timothy, Broto Joyo Retnowati, Elizabeth Priscilia, Niwaya Nugrahani, Sevanya Winona, Friska Teresia Malau, and Floristika Apralia.
Globalization is the term that has globalized itself in the past few years. It covered a wide range of distinct political, economic, social, and cultural trends. Globalization typically refers to the process by which different economies and societies become more closely integrated and concurrent with increasing worldwide globalization. There has been much research into its consequences. In its general definition, globalization can be defined as an extensive network of economic, cultural, social, and political interconnections and processes which goes beyond national boundaries. However, Wells agreed that globalization is not a policy option, but a fact to which policymakers must adapt. Globalization has been seen by many scholars as one big phenomenon that consists of various dimensions. Waters in Bottery 2003 believes that a more precise meaning might be that globalization is a social process in which the constraint of geography on social and cultural arrangement recede, and in which people become increasingly aware that they are receding. Waters also argues that there are at least three different forms of globalization: economic, political, and cultural, and that they are able to act as global forces largely because they are mediated by symbols. The more symbols they are, the more easily they are diffused around the world.
Now, the next question is, how does globalization go in pre-pandemic era? We can explain this from 5 different perspectives. First, from the perspective of technological advancement, where globalization can be seen from established communications across country, increased automation, and increased use of social media. Next, we can tell from the perspective of balance of power, where we can see the UN role has been increasing over the years, so did cooperation among countries. But on the negative side, where globalization has induced competition, and also there was the issue of China taking advantage of other countries. The third perspective is economics and trade. From this perspective, we knew there were freer trade, more trade agreement, more multinational corporations, more online shoppings and global supply chains, but there were on the negative sides were loss of small businesses and industries, and also there were issues of inequality. From the perspective of immigration and cultural exchange, globalization has caused the immigrants taking over the locals' jobs, and there were also issues of dilution of local cultures. But on the good side, there was an open opportunity to learn others' culture. Last but not least, from the perspective of community, due to globalization, community has become more aware of current events or trends, and they were induced to feel as being part of global citizenship, which in turn can stimulate homogenization.
Okay, so now COVID-19. What is it? Stated by World Health Organization, COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Now, COVID-19 is a new type of virus, which is a large group of viruses that cause health problems toward animals and humans. Now, why does it call COVID-19? Now, back in December 2019, there were many cases of pneumonia in Wuhan, where scientists have found a new type of coronavirus, hence the name COVID-19. And then this disease spread from Wuhan to all over the parts of the world, becoming, as we know, a global pandemic. Next slide, please. Now, what are the symptoms? There are two types, that is and less common. Now, the most common is fever, cough, tiredness, loss of taste or smell. As for less common, there is sore throat, headache, aches and pains, diarrhea, a rash on skin or discoloration of fingers and toes, and red or irritated eyes.
The impact of the pandemic on the economy. COVID-19 has had a huge impact on the economic in countries, one of which has resulted in people losing their job, being laid off, changing job, limited working hour, and lowered wage. The impact of the pandemic on social welfare. Social welfare is a conditioned fulfillment of material, spiritual, and social citizen in order to live worthy and able to develop themselves so that they can carry out their function socially. The problem of social welfare that are developing today showed that there are citizens who have not fulfilled the right to basic need properly because they have not received state social service. The impact of the pandemic on education. The impact of COVID-19 on the world of education is huge. As you can see, no teaching and learning activity are all done online. Due to the spread of the COVID-19 virus, we have to do social distancing. The impact of the pandemic on mental health. During the COVID-19 pandemic, like now, many people ignore their mental health, even though there are many people whose mental health is not good as a result of this pandemic. The main factor is stress. In a situation like this, it is very vulnerable to stress, especially with social distancing and lockdown.
And then we'll talk about negative impact of COVID-19 on globalization. First is economic crisis. As we know that good economic development is the thing that every country really wants in this world. But now, economic problems are one of the main things caused by COVID-19. Many people in various countries are experiencing difficulties in their economy, and also every country imposes a restriction on social activities, including restriction on work. Many companies were forced to close and also decrease in the amount of countries' income due to instability at work. And then rising death rate. During this pandemic, everyone's health is a threat because of virus. Many people are infected and also many people die. And according to World Health Organization in 2020 and 2021, there are several countries with the most excess death. First is India, and then Russia, and then Indonesia, and then USA. And then third is food security. So due to the difficulty of finding work and also reducing income, many people experience hunger and poverty. So the impact of this pandemic has increased food insecurity for every country. And then increase in medical waste. The increase in medical waste such as injection, medicines, masks, face shield, and other personal protective equipment has a bad impact on environment because these items contain toxic substances that could infect all people. And the last is mental health problems and lifestyle changes. The pandemic makes it difficult for many people to adapt, and changes that occur during the pandemic make people experience less food intake, irregular sleep hours, and also a lack of physical activities. So these things also affect everyone's psyche, such as stress, depression, and even suicide.
And this is the positive impact of COVID-19 on globalization. First, public knowledge of technology is getting better. Second, reduced human mobility which also reduces pollution. And the last, science and technology is getting better. As we know, since the COVID-19 pandemic, all activities that are usually carried out in person or outside have been turned into virtual meetings. This is, of course, people learn various technology that are easy to use. Therefore, many people today know how to use various technology. In addition, technology is also getting more sophisticated. Many digital platforms have been launched since the pandemic. In addition, air pollution also reduced because all activities are carried out from home.
These things the country has learned from the COVID-19 pandemic. Infectious disease are how a society issue. 1 in every 1,300 people alive in 2019 has died from infection with SARS-CoV-2. But when we look back on COVID-19, in the future, the direct health impact may not be what we remember most. The vaccine developed paradigm has been transformed for emergency and potentially for more serious on. It is easy to forget how remarkable the development of COVID-19 vaccines was. Conversely, weaknesses in the vaccine manufacturing and equitable distribution will require systemic change. Despite the success of vaccine R&D, there have been persistent inequalities in access to its fluids. Work will never be built the same. The pandemic first year proved three things. Our definition of essential workers was inadequate. The numbers and kind of workers we need are profoundly different now, and most knowledge workers can do the job from home. Economic stimulus work, but only in correct concert with strong public health measures. In early 2020, there was a public debate on the trade-off between protecting people from the virus and protecting the economy. At the time, we suggested that this framework was off the mark. There is no trade-off.
Okay, for the summary. COVID-19 is also a globalization because COVID-19 changed a lot this world, from the daily routine freely into this pandemic era, where people should wear masks to protect us from COVID-19 virus. This pandemic era very make people shocked because many people are sick, even some people are dead. So that's why COVID-19 is a part of globalization. COVID-19 really hit important parts of countries such as economy, social welfare, education, and mental health. However, COVID-19 also have negative and positive impact, as we have presented in this PowerPoint. Thank you for listening, and goodbye, everyone.